Hello and welcome to another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey. I'm Alex Drain, joined today by David Kramer, and Joshua Tenzer will be on later in the broadcast. Michigan comes in tonight in a really crucial Big Ten matchup. They lost last night's game 2-1 in a tight one against Notre Dame, and they have an opportunity to get back in revenge here tonight against the Fighting Irish. This kind of late afternoon start time, a little unusual, but Michigan has to hope they come out strong tonight.
Yeah, senior night nonetheless, with a starting lineup other than Strauss, Mann, and Net, consisting of all seniors, Griffin, Luce, and Martin on the back end, with a line centered by Nick Postajov, the senior, a 2016 New York Islanders draft pick, Will Lockwood on the left, a Vancouver draft pick, and Jake Slager, who's really been heating up offensively in the past couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago is one of the 3 stars of NCAA hockey.
Yep.
And has just had an absolutely incredible senior season.
Well, take a look at the netminders. Cale Morris in net for Notre Dame. He was absolutely magnificent last night, reminiscent of when he was one of the best players in college hockey only a few years ago. And it took Michigan about 59.5 minutes to solve him, and they just couldn't get 2 by him. Struggled a long time to even get 1. They need a sharper effort tonight. Got a lot of good looks, couldn't quite get it past. Strauss-Mann from Michigan, very strong last night. He had 1 goal that felt a little soft, but otherwise he was pretty darn good. Came up with some big saves. Michigan's going to need the offense to be better. And this game so critical for Big Ten standings. Michigan in 4th, Notre Dame in 5th, but 1st and 6th in this conference, separated by just 7 points. 3 games left for both of these teams. Michigan will be against Minnesota next weekend. Notre Dame will be against Wisconsin. And the puck drop is down, and Pastajov wins it back. Slager will immediately play it into the Notre Dame end. Michigan wearing the maize uniforms on senior day here at home. Notre Dame wearing their standard blue road uniforms with the golden helmets, so trademark of their hockey program. They wore those uniforms last night. Puck comes into the Michigan end. Slager backhands it back down just across the Notre Dame blue line, where Stastny picks it up, plays it across with Nate Klurman. They're on the second pairing tonight, and there's going to be an icing on Notre Dame, I believe. Unless we have a quick penalty, actually. It's going to go against Luke Martin just 29 seconds in. I did not see that one.
I think it may have been a late hit that on the right side right after Stastny dumped the puck into the Wolverines zone.
Have to see a replay. I think Michigan is kind of stunned about what's happening. And Luke Martin, who had a crucial penalty against Michigan State back in November in a game that Michigan ended up losing at Yost, he's taken a couple penalties in each of these last few games, and that one is a bad one to have happen 29 seconds in, especially on a play that, I don't even know what part of the ice it occurred on. There was certainly no scoring chance he was trying to prevent or anything. Cal Burke wins the draw back to Stastny. Stastny at the left point, plays it across to the right. They've got Michael Graham at the right point. Cal Burke around the half wall. Picked down low by Steves up to the top. Stastny left point across to Graham at the right at that Red Berenson Rink logo, and he shoots it wide. Cam York gets to it, now over to Van Wy. He tries to get it out, and Stastny held it in well as it rims around the boards. Cam Morrison goes in after it, and Blankenberg is able to get it out with help from Moyle on a tip. Both the Michigan forwards will go off. Van Wy comes onto the ice now. 40 seconds gone in the penalty, skating through the middle. Burke comes in, takes a shot that was blocked by Luce into the netting and out of play. 1:17 remaining in the power play.
We're already seeing some great opportunities for Notre Dame that have been stifled by the Michigan defense, especially with Luke Martin, who's been one of their more predominant leaders, not only in the locker room but on the penalty kill this season, when he's not, of course, in the box.
So it'll be Mike O'Leary to do this draw to Mann's right. Lambert puts the stick down and then gets told to wait a second. Now they'll do the draw again. That one just goes over to the side where Janicki has a shot at it. One back by O'Leary. Notre Dame's won each of the 2 faceoffs on this power play thus far, allowing themselves to establish possession to O'Leary in the corner. And then it rattles right to Lambert. He scoops it up and then promptly sends it down the ice. He'll go on the forecheck. Michigan doesn't need to get their skaters off yet. And they watch as Notre Dame will skate up with it. That's a pass from Hellicksen across, but intercepted by Hurst, and he sends it back down. Michigan kills off about 25 seconds right there. Notre Dame has not had a single good look yet on this power play. Has looked sleepy thus far. O'Leary brings it into the offensive end, down the left wing side against the boards. Knocked down to his knees from behind by Blankenberg. Now a pass across over to the right side, now up to the top. Leverman skates to the middle, now leaves it down low to Tyson at the right circle. He's playing catch down there against the boards with O'Leary in the corner, and I think we're going to have a penalty on Notre Dame to see what the referees are calling a whistle on. Notre Dame touched it, and I think they're just bringing it out of the zone. No one's heading to the box, but they got kicked out of the zone.
Yes, some hitting exchange between Blankenberg and Trevor Janicki.
So we'll do the face-off. 26 seconds remaining on the Notre Dame man advantage. O'Leary and Van Wy go at it. O'Leary wins that one. Notre Dame's been sharp in the dot so far. Leverman brings it in on sides. Firm check from Blankenberg against the boards as he throws it into the corner. Janicki to it, but then his pass is intercepted by Blankenberg, and he throws it all the way back down the ice. Michigan will get their skaters off, and now 10 seconds remaining on the power play as Hellicksen picks it up behind his own net. Now down to 5 seconds as he skates across center ice, now into the offensive end. Going down that left wing side, going out wide, tried to center it, but it was blocked by Keaton Pearson. Now in the corner, Tyson there. Michigan back to full strength as Burke has it in the corner. Lockwood watching him there, throws on the brakes. Now again against the boards, Lockwood pushes him as it goes around to Pearson, and now Notre Dame backs off, allowing Michigan to get out of the weeds. They've killed off the penalty, tied at 0. 3 minutes gone here in this first period. Keaton Pearson sends it in, and a weird bounce right in front of the net. And coming out to play it to the side was Cale Morris. Johnny Beecher pass across to Summers, intercepted, now a pass to the middle. Pavakah on a breakaway, right in, and he missed the net. A dangerous opportunity there as a bad pass from Johnny Beecher set up a dangerous opportunity for Notre Dame on a sort of abbreviated breakaway for Jake Pavakah. Now Statsny shot wide of the net. Beecher scoops it up behind his own net. Beecher banks it down behind where Summers chases after it, but that was not a great pass. Beecher a little off right now. Notre Dame picks it up in the offensive end. Shot towards the middle, popped up into the air. Only guy who saw it was able to grab it out of the air there and set it down. It was Graham Slager. Now Michigan takes it away. Lockwood just outside his own zone across to Summers, across center ice. He dumps it in. Michigan will get 5 fresh legs out there. Notre Dame brings it up. Morrison tips it in. Man comes out behind the cage to play it, pursued by a couple Irish. Now it's sent down the ice, and Michigan is going to win this icing battle as Morgan got down there very quickly. He's along the boards, sends it across, potential wraparound try, but couldn't be corralled by Mike Passageoff. Now he just lays it down low. Morgan against those boards down behind the net. Nick tries a wraparound, couldn't do so. Blankenberg pinches up to hold it in, couldn't keep it in, and now a 3-on-2 comes out the other way. Charlie Wraith in on the left circle, pass across to Morrison. He had a great look, but he fanned on the shot there. Michigan a little sloppy on these zone entries. They've allowed odd man rushes each of the last 2 times they've gotten into the Irish end, and now the puck comes to the side of Mann's goal crease. He'll put the blocker down and hold on for a whistle. 15:36 to go in the first period.
Well, some good opportunities for Notre Dame initially coming out after this power play that they had, especially that surprising breakaway opportunity for Notre Dame in the slot that really, that was dangerous. And I think Michigan's going to have a wake-up call sooner than later with 15 minutes, 36 seconds remaining here in the first.
Cal Burke to do the draw with Lambert to the right of Strauss-Mann. Notre Dame wins that draw again. I think they might be perfect in the faceoff top. We'll have to pull up that stat in a moment. Goes into the corner. Luke Martin backhands it across to Cam York. York picks it up, flips it into the air, was looking for Slaker, who was breaking down the ice, couldn't connect with him, grabbed out of the air by a Gold Domer. Martin picks it up right at the block M across to York, and he'll send it in and dump in chase as Lambert goes down on the right wing boards alongside Beecher down there. Comes away with it, throws it in front, looking for Slaker, couldn't bang it home. York bats it out of the air as it came into the neutral zone and then sends it back down. Nick Granowitz chases after it. Leverman holds it in his own zone, now throws it out. Martin corrals it right at the blue line. Stretch pass through the middle intended for Jake Slaker, and it was intercepted. Now Slaker grabs it back to York. York across to Martin. Martin across center ice as he sends it in. Dodges a hard check from Colin Tyson. Now picked up against the boards. Van Wy in the offensive zone. He's waiting for help to come, and he gets it. Summers at the top. Shot was deflected, but Van Wy keeps it in well. Throws it across to his line mate Raby in the right corner. but then he got walled off as Michigan was in the midst of getting Nolan Moyle out there. They were playing 4-on-5 in the offensive end. Now Janicki brings it out, throws it down low for O'Leary behind the Michigan net. Summers to it. Some bodies fly in front of Strauss-Mann, but Jack Summers comes away with it up to Van Wy. Moyle and Raby along with him. They enter the zone on sides. Hard bounce across to Raby to Moyle behind the net. Couldn't hold on to that pass, though, a little too hot to handle. Picked up behind the net. And Colin Tyson leads the breakout the other way as both teams in the midst of changes. Tyson cuts through the middle. Gets right between Pearson and Beecher, but he has no one there to help him out, so he just throws on the brakes. Swings it along the boards. Wraith sends it down low. Picked up there by Pavakah. Notre Dame controlling in the offensive end. Pavakah really strong on his skates right now. Finally knocked off his stride, but he gets it to Hellicksen. Hellicksen skates in, takes a shot, blocked there by Summers. Rattles around the boards, back to Hellicksen at the top. He skates in again, takes another shot. That one blocked in front of the net. Summers to it. He's battling as it's between his legs. He was being harassed by Michael Graham. Now finally Michigan to it. Lockwood throws it in the air for Hurst as Michigan will break out the other way into the offensive end. Hurst throws on the brakes, curls to the middle. Just gently passes it over to Blankenberg as he cuts down the right wing side. Going to try and wrap it around. Instead, had a nice poke check there from behind. Blankenberg knocked down onto his knees, but he keeps puck possession. Lays it down low for Hurst skating around behind. Now to Lockwood at the circle. Tried to center it, and that pass was shut down. The shots are still 0-0 reading on the scoreboard as some chances for each team, but nothing really on net. Now picked up in the middle by Lansdell. Nice back check from Michael Pastujov to take it away, and Griffin Luce falls down. Picked up there and a shot, rebound, and a save from Strauss-Mann. That's the first shot officially on goal of the game. Now Nick Pastujov picks it up, tries to go around the Irish defenders as he goes on the forecheck down behind. Another man hits the deck. Man, Michigan is losing their edge right now. We saw Luce hit the deck a minute ago. Now the same thing happens in the offensive end. Martin chases back in his own zone to pick it up. He's dumped to the ice. Two Irish on top of him, Cale Burke and Lansdell as well. Now they blow the play dead with Martin laying on top of the puck, and we'll go to a media timeout. 12:22 to go in the first period. No score and just one shot on goal. Fun rush right there.
Yeah, it certainly was. Definitely the Wolverines are happy to have that timeout coming from Pearson, who's probably quite dissatisfied with their play through this first period. It's been interesting to see how off balance the Wolverines have been, both in the offensive and in the defensive zone. A little bit surprising, perhaps, in some relation to the warmer weathers outside, but it is unseasonably warm here today in Ann Arbor. Temperatures around the mid-40s. And to get back to you on that face-off set, the Wolverines only won the first draw of the game, so Notre Dame has otherwise won them all.
So out of the timeout with 12:22 to go in the first period, Michigan 0, Notre Dame 0, just one shot on goal, 7.5 minutes in as the face-off will be to Strauss-Mann's right in the Michigan end. Jimmy Lambert technically wins it back, but it just trickles between about 5 pairs of skates and then rolls right up on the netminder man, and he puts the trapper down, says let's do a face-off again. Not sure if they'll give credit to Lambert for that face-off win, as you just mentioned, Michigan had just one face-off win in those first 7.5 minutes. A lot of clean wins, especially in the offensive end for Notre Dame, which is what Michael Graham will try to do here as they do it again with Lambert. That one tied up yet again. Now it flips into the air right in front of the net. Oh, Morrison, a backhand that just popped into the air and then grabbed with the glove by Strauss-Mann. Last two face-offs have just been sort of tied up, and then they squirt to the side, and then it's just 5 or 6 sticks whacking away at it. And that one redirected in on man, dangerous for Michigan.
It was dangerous, especially with the Michigan defense looking like it needs a little bit more communication.
Lambert will do the draw with Graham one more time. This time they move it over, though. This one's to Mann's left. It's tied up once more. A battle for, and York comes away with it to the side. Slager flips it up in the air trying to get it out. Couldn't do so. Now Slager gets it right back as it was held in at the point by Hellicksen. Slager backhands it to York. He plays it behind his own net. Banks it over to York. Bad pass there as Martin was trying to grab it. Lambert picks it up behind. Rims around Morrison. Over towards Steves. York goes after it, trying to break it out, just trying to get it out of the zone. The pressure for Notre Dame the last couple minutes has been swarming. Morrison tries to get past Luke Martin, couldn't do so. Now flipped into the air, Slager just over his stick, and Notre Dame just seems a touch sharper right now than Michigan, especially on the attack. That one dribbled in past the blue line as they were offsides, had to get back on, did the Irish. Now they can rally it in center ice and sent all the way down by Colin Tyson. Mann comes out behind his own net, hands it over to Martin. Keaton Pearson there along with Martin. Long stretch pass, Van Wy taps it so there's no icing. Luke Martin will get off as Morris comes out behind his own net to play it. Raby comes away with it though along the right wing boards. A shot through traffic by Pearson. Tried to get a tip from Van Wy in front. Michigan holds it in though. Pearson another try. That one is blocked. Getting down to one knee to stop it was Colin Tyson. Nice shot block. Repels Michigan's rush and pops it back into the neutral zone. Wolverines try to re-enter the zone with Moyle, but he had it quickly taken away by Statsny. Stands behind his own net and then sent on up. Colin Tyson got a stretch pass vertically through the neutral zone, brings it into the offensive end, but immediately stopped by Keaton Pearson. Now Moyle and Raby skate out 2-on-2, now 3-on-3 as Van Wy joins. Michigan gets a defensive change. Raby in that corner, still holding onto the puck in the left circle. Valiant effort to get it up to Luce at the top. Now they throw it down to Raby, looking to set up Van Wy for a one-timer. Couldn't quite get him online though, and Notre Dame gets to it, promptly clears it down. Luce scoops it up. 10:20 remaining in the first period. Still no score between these teams. No shots for Michigan yet. 2 for Notre Dame this game. A lot like last night, both teams feeling each other out, but Michigan gets a takeaway there. Blankenberg in the offensive end throws it down low. Looking for Raby, now across to Luce, over to Lockwood. Lockwood backhands it through the middle, and Beecher couldn't hold on. Michigan has that offensive possession wasted. Slager comes up with it, tries to go around Blankenberg, but they're going to call it offsides anyway. And now some pushing after the play as Pavakah was down there with Slager, shoving away. And then we will go to the under 10 media timeout. Still no score in this one.
Shots are 2-0 in favor of the Notre Dame. And those face-offs have not gotten any better for the Wolverines. Some storylines going into tonight are the duel between these two netminders, Strauss-Mann and, of course, Cale Morris, who, as Alex referred to earlier, before the puck was dropped, is one of the best goaltenders in the United States now. The Wolverines have one of those as well. Strauss-Mann, a sophomore from Connecticut, who is continuing his stellar play with a 2.0 goals allowed, which is good for 8th in the country, in addition to his .935 save percentage, which is 6th in the country. He has 4 shutouts, which is tied for 4th in the NCAA.
Well, out of the timeout, 9:51 to go in the first period. No score between Michigan and Notre Dame. Jacob Hurst will get set to do a draw against Jake Pavakah. Pavakah for Notre Dame as this game is scoreless. And 9:51 remaining. Pavakah, the son of Michael Pavakah of the Washington Capitals, in the 1990s, especially the heyday of his career. Son Jake now playing for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Pavakah from Naperville, Illinois, where he was raised. Notre Dame wins that draw, brings it into the offensive zone. Michigan looking still for their first shot on goal, and both teams looking for the first goal. A shot comes in from the point by Hellicksen, softly redirected harmlessly off the pads of Mann, goes into the left corner where Beecher goes in to grab it. Now he rims it around the boards the other way. Hurst pokes it through the other side. York carries it out. This forecheck for Notre Dame's been swarming. Michigan's had trouble getting it out of their own end, but they've had a couple decent chances in the offensive zone as Lockwood brings it in. His shot as he tried to toe drag was blocked. He gets knocked down hard from behind, and that's going to be a boarding penalty. Touched up by Slager. We're going to see Hellicksen go to the box. That is a penalty on 6'1", 192 junior Matt Hellicksen from Rogers, Minnesota, the highest scoring defenseman on this team for Notre Dame this year. And he will sit in the box playing on that first pair. And you see Lockwood had that first shot blocked by Hellicksen, and then Hellicksen just hits him from behind. Lockwood didn't know where the puck was a little woozy on his skates a little disoriented, and then that hard check in the back, face first into the boards. That's going to be boarding every time, and Notre Dame 0 for 1 on the power play earlier. This is Michigan's first, and they want an opportunity to get a big goal here in the first period after not scoring until 59 minutes into the game last night. Face-off win by Michigan. Summers across to Beecher. Now over to Mike Pastujov. Summers right at the top by that Big Ten logo. Pastujov right circle. They throw it down low in front for Becker. He couldn't nestle it home. Beecher corrals it in the corner. Gets harassed by a couple Irish, but the strong centerman is able to hold on to the puck and keep possession until it gets nudged off his stick and then squirts all the way back down the ice. Notre Dame's killed off the first 30 seconds. Michigan last night was 0 for on the power play, but they did score with the empty net and the 6-on-5 advantage in the waning moments of that game once it was 2-0 as they carry it in offsides here. We'll have a face-off outside the zone. Notre Dame on the power play this year has been pretty strong. The penalty kill has been a weakness, though. They are, however, better recently than they were earlier in the year. They entered this weekend at 77% on the penalty kill, tied for 48 out of 60 teams in Division I hockey, but they've killed off 13 of their last 14 the prior 2 weekends to entering this weekend, and they killed off both that they had to face last night, so it's clicking for them right now. Michigan wins that draw just outside the Notre Dame offensive end after the icing. Blankenberg holds it in his own end to York, and they'll set up the zone entry rush. Slaker across to Lockwood, back to Slaker. 2 seniors passing it between each other on senior day. Slaker carries it in the offensive zone. Pass to York at the top, left wing point. Now to Blankenberg, shot through traffic. Morris saw it all the way, though, and grabs it with the glove. 8:08 remaining in period 1, a full minute remaining on the power play, still no score.
To give some more information about these two teams and their power plays and their penalty kills, the Wolverines are 32nd in NCAA hockey with a 18.9% success rate on their power play, and Notre Dame, of course, being in the lower third.
That draw one back by Notre Dame, but Blankenberg pursues it into the corner. Michigan using the man advantage there to get to it quickly. Hurst dug it out of the corner. Blankenberg across to Lockwood at the top. Now York skates in at the right point, sets it up. Blankenberg left point across to Slager in the right circle. Now across to York. Back to Blankenberg at the top, looking for that perfect shot. Tried to tee up Slager left side. Couldn't get it, though, for a one-timer. Recollects it and then sends it down. Martin has to go after it, and Michigan will have to get all the way back set up. 7:35 to go in the first period. Now down to 30 seconds remaining in the power play. Michigan looked eager to get that perfect look and couldn't find it there. They had 2 power play goals over the weekend against MSU, but had no success last night and have looked discombobulated thus far. A clearing attempt, not able to do so. Lockwood holds it in, skates in, takes a shot that goes high and over the net. And now Notre Dame will break out with it. 5 seconds remaining, and they'll be able to kill off the remainder of this penalty as Cal Burke has it taken away, but now potential 3-on-2. Notre Dame got overzealous. Michigan skates in with it. A pass across for Lambert, too far out in front of him. Man goes down for Notre Dame, and I think they're going to call a tripping penalty. That's a soft call, but it definitely looked bad, and that's what matters. The back judge right there, the linesman just inside the Michigan end, watching that one from afar, saw a man go down, saw a stick in the vicinity, and they're going to get Lambert with a tripping call. Michigan fans here at Yost Ice Arena not a fan, and I don't think it was probably a very clear-cut tripping, but it's all about how it looks, and you see right there, yep, just got the stick right in the skate blade, incidental, but it'll go down as a penalty.
Well, where both teams are more successful is in Notre Dame's power play and Michigan's penalty kill, respectively, with Notre Dame operating at a 19.8% success rate, tied for 24th in the country, and the Wolverines at an 82.2% penalty kill rate, which is 22nd.
O'Leary wins that drawback. Hellicksen, a shot that comes right in, and man in that excellent glove are able to keep it. But Michigan couldn't clear it out. That one took a weird bounce off the boards. Notre Dame holds it in, and that is a bad luck break for Michigan. They had an easy clear, and it took an ugly bounce off a stanchion there, holding up the glass in the end. Leverman pass across and a shot, deflects off a stick. Really nice job to get across there from Nolan Moyle, get a stick in the way as Tyson was ready to barrel one up at the right circle. Now we'll have a face-off. 1:38 remaining in the power play. 6:39 to go in period 1. Still no score in this crucial Big Ten matchup. And the interesting thing, just 5 combined shots in about 13 and a half minutes.
It was great to see that Nolan Moyle on the ice today, who's had a pretty great season, especially the last couple of weeks. flying around the ice, delivering hits and producing a little bit of offense as well.
They toss O'Leary out of the dot. Tyson comes in, and Michigan's able to win that one with Pasti, but York is tied up against the boards. Martin comes over to give him some help. 3-on-2, Notre Dame in that corner. Now out to Hellicksen at the top, skates to the middle, throws it across to Tyson, back to him. They've got Leverman at the left point. The pass through the middle is intercepted. Pinballs off a skate out to the neutral zone. Michigan will get some fresh skaters out there. 45 seconds gone in the man advantage. Janicki brings it in on sides. O'Leary had it and lost it, and then it goes over to Van Wy, and he'll easily just bounce it off the boards and all the way back down. Close to a minute even killed off of this power play, down to 6 minutes even remaining in the first period. These are two teams don't get penalized much, both in the top 10 of least penalties taken in NCAA hockey, but we've seen 3 so far in this first period. 2 on Michigan. Steve skates in, takes a shot wide of the net, and Michigan got a break there. Graham scoops it up to Stastny at the top, skating to the left side as Michigan is in the end, skating right to left from our vantage point. Setting it up to Stastny in the middle, trying to get a shot wide of the net there. Steves grabs it on the right side, half wall. Loose whacks at it, puck comes free, but Notre Dame's first to it. Stastny left point, across to the right. Now they send it to the circle, another pass across. Graham a shot, that one man barely saw, but it went high and over top of his cage. Stastny across, skating in, intercepted by Luce, and he banks it all the way back down. Now picked on up by Michael Graham, skates into the end. Stastny a shot wide of the net, pinballs right to man. He puts the glove down and will hang on for a face-off.
With 4 seconds left to go in this Notre Dame power play, and 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first period. A great kill so far for the Wolverines, even including those unlucky bounces.
Pastajov and Pavakah to do the draw, and Pavakah jumps a little early. 4 seconds remaining in the power play as mentioned. Martin picks it up, and he will clear it on out looking for Michael Pastajov. Lambert out of the box. Michigan back to full strength now, under 5 minutes remaining in the first period. In the corner, Notre Dame picks it up. Pavakah skates in through the middle into the offensive zone. A shot there right in on man. That one was a hot one, and it comes right into the belly, and now he got some pushing after the play. Pavakah went hard into the boards with a pair of Wolverines. Face-off will be in the Michigan end. Shots now 6-1 in favor of Notre Dame. 4:46 remaining in the first period, but still no score in this one.
Hoping to see some more offense from the Wolverines after this. Their penalty kill is concluded as both teams go to a timeout. Some great plays and some great saves by Michigan Wolverines sophomore netminder Strauss Mann, who's continued his great season so far in this game, stopping all 6 Notre Dame shots. And from up here in the booth, we have seen some great glove saves from Strauss Mann, who's absolutely been dominant for the Wolverines so far and really been one of the brighter spots of this season.
So with 4:46 remaining in the first period, Michigan and Notre Dame tied at 0. Michigan still looking for consistent offense. It's been a choppy period. They've had to kill off a pair of penalties and just haven't looked comfortable. Notre Dame's done what they do well, which is lock the game down and contain this Michigan team that was scoring so well entering this weekend from doing so. And now Michigan attempts to clear it out of the zone after winning that draw and immediately goes into the netting and out of play. Summers the culprit there, and so they'll do another defensive zone draw for the Wolverines. Another puck comes over, and they'll drop it on down. 4:42 now remaining in the first period. Michigan and Notre Dame were scoreless through 2 last night. Notre Dame scored about 5 minutes into the third period, then added another one a few minutes later. Michigan did not score until about 45 seconds remaining when they had the empty net. That made it 2-1. They couldn't get one more across, and this has just been a defensive weekend, which is what you expect. Now a shot there from the point by Dello comes in hard. It hit Burke and a couple Wolverines in front of the net. Drops down into the corner. Cal Burke tied up there. Summers with Morgan. Now flipped up into the air. Pierce Crawford pinched up hard against the board. Summers across to Pastajov, and Michael Pastajov skates in his own end across to Keaton Pearson, up to Nick Pastajov, and he'll just tap it on down here. The last home game of the regular season, Michigan trying to win here tonight and set up a first weekend of the Big Ten tournament, which they would be hosting here at Yost Ice Arena. Entered at fourth tonight. A centering pass there from the corner by Luke Morgan. Couldn't find Nick Pastajov. Now a hard check by Pastajov. Puck comes free in front of the net. Nick, a shot! And a save there by Cale Morris. The best look of the night for the Michigan offense off a friendly bounce. Now up to Pearson at the top. Skates through the middle, and a shot gets deflected off a body and to the side. Now skating through the middle, Lansdale, and all the way back down. That one will go just wide of Strauss-Mann. He'll tap it over to Keaton Pearson. Michigan, their best look of the night right there. And the referee trying to break up some pushing right there in front of the bench. Lockwood carries it in on sides. Nice pass across. Beecher's shot. Oh, and it was deflected. A slow-moving saucer just wide of the net. Hurst down there with Lockwood. Lockwood comes away with it. Skates along the boards. Gets whacked at. Throws it to Blankenberg at the top. Blankenberg throws it down low. Intercepted, though. Now up against the boards, Will Lockwood picks it out, throws it down low for Johnny Beecher. The powerful freshman skates through the offensive zone, now across to Luce, throwing it down low for Hurst. A weird bounce in front of the net. It drops down, and we're going to have a penalty coming on Notre Dame. Looks like, I think, Klerman's going to go to the box, and Michigan will go with the man advantage. A hook there in front of the net as the puck rocketed into the air off of strange deflection, landed back down, and indeed, Nate Klerman, the sophomore from Boulder, Colorado, will take a seat. Now the fourth penalty of the first period. As you see, Hurst there just didn't know where the puck was. Klerman didn't know where it was either. They were looking up in the air, and Klerman just whacks across and takes him down. But then nasty, nasty play right there. And so Michigan will go on the power play. They'll put Hurst, Slager, Lockwood, Blankenberg, and York out there to start the man advantage. 3:04 remaining in the first period. A fresh 2-minute power play. Shot 6-2 in favor of the Irish. Michigan a chance now to take a lead late stages of the first period. Face-off will be Hurst for the Wolverines up against Pavakah for the Irish. That draw tied up. Pavakah won it back, continuing the Irish's strong performance in the dot tonight, and they quickly clear it on down. They've had success in the face-off circle all game long thus far. It's helped them on the power play as well as the penalty kill as it did there. Michigan has to watch the first 15 seconds go off before they can re-enter the zone, which Slager does with help from Pastajov. Now the puck comes free in the middle. Blankenberg skates in, takes a shot high and rising over the net, drops down behind. Michigan just hasn't gotten a lot of friendly bounces yet, as that one lands in the back of the netting after taking a hard ricochet off the end boards. We'll have a face-off and another stoppage in play. 2:36 remaining, 1:32 to go in the power play.
Well, the captain, Will Lockwood, has looked exceptional tonight with a dozen great cross-ice passes to on the rush through the neutral zone, on zone entries, and also in the offensive zone as well. I think this has been an excellent showing of his skills and his talents throughout this first period, and combined with some great saves by Strauss-Mann. The sophomore netminder is turning out to be a great game, and hopefully these Wolverines can put one in the back of the net before this first period's over.
They say that shot that hit the back of the netting was just cleanly off a Michigan shot, so they will kick the face-off out of the zone, and they'll do it from the neutral zone. Michigan wins it back. York will leave it behind himself for Slager. Skates through the middle across to Lockwood. Back to Slager there. Brings it in on sides. Nice cut through. Takes a shot. That one bounces into the air. Slager crashes hard to try and grab it, but Notre Dame will be able to get it out. 2-on-2 rush the other way. Morrison cuts out wide trying to get around the edge. Takes a shot. Oh, Burt there on the back door tried to put it in, and going down hard is Morrison. He's hurt. This is going to be a 5-on-3 Michigan until he can get up and back onto the ice. They hold it in the offensive zone. York there skates in with it. Leaves it behind for Slager. Pass across. Couldn't set it up with Hurst, though, and Notre Dame clears it. Michigan did not take good advantage of that situation where you had a man down behind the play. He's skating off, and Blankenberg seemed hesitant to jump in on the play. I don't know why, and the Wolverines just couldn't get proper passing there. Becker brings it in on sides, throws it in the area of Pastajov as they crash hard against the boards. Rattles into the corner. Notre Dame quickly to it, and they quickly clear it down. 30 seconds remaining in the power play. 90 seconds to go in the period. Summers grabs it behind the net, circles around. 1:25 to go pass up for Beecher, too far for him, and that's going to be an icing. Man, oh man.
Ooh, that was an ugly hit on Morrison. Looks like he's receiving some assistance right now from one of Notre Dame's trainers on a really big hit behind the Wolverines' net, and he was grabbing his collarbone as he skated back to the bench. And no matter whatever team we're playing it is, we do not like to see such unpleasant injuries.
Pastujov wins that draw for Michigan. They got 15 seconds remaining. They can re-enter the zone one last time and then try to get a shot with the man coming back onto the ice. But that pass for Becker didn't hit him properly. Goes into the offensive zone, tied up along the boards. Now Pastujov skates in with it, tried to get it down for his brother Nick, and it's just quickly cleared out. Michigan has seemed totally off their game in this first period, discombobulated in the offensive zone. Just 3 shots to show. You have to hope they're going to bring better energy out there in the second. Martin skates through the middle with it across center ice, banks that one off the boards down behind of Morris. Locked into the corner, bounced around. Martin holds it at the line. Now Luce takes a shot, and it has a friendly bounce for Michigan. Lambert picks it up, takes a shot from a bad angle. Janicki comes away with it. Notre Dame skates out 3-on-3 the other way. Janicki, right wing side, throws it towards the net. Deflected up into the air. Hard check in the corner. Lambert on Tyson, tying him up there. Lambert allows Martin to come in, take the puck away across to Luce. Now through the middle, up into the air. Luce watches it flutter back into his own end. 15 seconds left in the period. No score. Michigan maybe one last rush. Martin across center ice, throws it in on Morris. Went hard up against him, just taps it into the corner. Morgan crashes over to grab it. 2 seconds, throws it to the top, but nothing comes. No shots in that final flurry, and we will go to the first intermission. No score between these teams, and you can just feel Notre Dame bogged Michigan down in that first period, and they're going to have to come out with sharper energy in the second.
They certainly looked slow in the offensive zone and found themselves often on the edge of their skates when playing defense. You really got to see a lot of the talent and speed displayed by those Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
So for the second straight night, Michigan and Notre Dame enter the first intermission tied at zilch. And that will bring us to the first intermission. We'll be back in about 13 minutes with period number 2.
We are back. That's right. If you listened to the lacrosse game, my voice does sound familiar.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is David Kramer. I'm here joined by Joshua Tenzer, who just was a part of the University of Michigan lacrosse broadcast just a couple hours ago.
That is
We
right.
are here at the Red Berenson rink at Yost Ice Arena for a hockey game between the University of Michigan Wolverines and the University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Currently, the score is 0-0. And the shots are 7-4 in favor of the Irish. There's a couple storylines going into tonight's game. Are, of course, yesterday's game, which concluded in an unfortunate Michigan loss with the score of 2-1. After the Wolverines really struggled to solve the excellent goaltending of the University of Notre Dame, led by Cale Morris, who is back in net this afternoon. An early evening. It's senior night tonight.
The reason why it was such a big problem that we lost last night is that Michigan needed to sweep Notre Dame in order to have a real good fighting shot to win the Big Ten regular season title when they head up to Minnesota next weekend to close out the regular season. The fact that we didn't win last night means that if we don't win tonight, there's no way we'll win the regular season title. And if we do, if we win tonight, we're going to need a sweep at Minnesota. Else we need Penn State to beat Minnesota tonight.
Yes,
so a lot of things have to happen in order for things to go right here.
A lot of logistics, so we're really hoping for a Wolverine win. And hopefully we'll be led with some stronger offense in this second period after a somewhat weaker showing with only 4 shots from the University of Michigan.
That being said, Notre Dame only had 7, so both defenses really shined a lot this period.
Yes, especially with 4 power plays.
4 power plays going on between the two teams, yeah. 2 of Michigan's shots ended up being on the power play, actually. And, again, 2 of Notre Dame's. So half of the shots for the Wolverines have been on power play.
One thing that we're going to be looking for is one of Notre Dame's players,
Morrison.
number 26, Cam Morrison, a 6'3", 214-pound senior from Aurora, Ontario. If anyone here is a St. Louis Blues fan, that's where Robert Thomas plays. Is from. He's from Aurora. He fell down earlier in the game with a pretty ugly-looking injury behind Strauss-Mann's net.
His shoulder went hard into the boards. It looked like he might have dislocated it first. When he popped back up, he was holding his shoulder. It looked weird because the jersey was askew. But he went back to the bench. He got checked out. The doctors, they gave him back his stick. He skated back to the clubhouse by himself, the locker room. So it looks like he should be A-okay to go, but he's probably not going to play the first 5-10 minutes.
Yes.
Take it easy. Let that shoulder rest up.
We'll look for him on the bench as we're getting ready to drop the puck here for the second period of the battle in Ann Arbor between the University of Michigan and the University of Notre Dame. The score is 0-0, and we're in for a great, hopefully more offense-filled second period.
Someone who's really stood out a lot to me, even though that he had a couple mistakes, was Raby. He had a lot of good body work, avoiding hard body checks.
Yes.
Some nice stick work as well.
The face-off is won by Pavakah of Notre Dame as the Fighting Irish dump the puck into the Wolverine zone, and it's picked up by Martin behind his net and dumped around the other side all the way to Raby in the near side boards. Now he turns back around and he's looking for some help, and now the freshman defenseman Cam York passes it up to Raby, but unfortunately he turns it over to Clubman, and the puck returns the other way. Now Luke Martin, the senior, on senior night, dumps the puck in on the far side boards, and refs wave off the icing as Notre Dame comes back the other way. Pavakah with speed roars up the near side boards, but Strauss-Mann is there and dumps the puck back with the pass to John Beecher with a really strong wrist, a really strong pass across the side, one side of the ice to the other. It was a little too hot for Jacob Hurst. Now the Wolverines on the near side ice. John Beecher with a pretty ugly turnover. It's now the great scoring opportunity for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but they whiff on the shot, and the Wolverines have come out the gate a little bit slow in the second period, just like they did in the first period. Now Graham looking, trying to knock Strauss-Mann out of the way, but he can't hit the goaltender. There's a couple Wolverines and Fighting Irish call, but the refs don't say there's going to be any penalty with the shot by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish that goes and tumbles right in front of Strauss-Mann, but he knocks it away, and a shot again by Dello, number 6, a defenseman for the Irish. And the Irish are really putting on the blast as now Jacob Hurst comes roaring back the other way. It's a 2-on-1, and he waits.
and he tries, and wow, what a great opportunity that was. A puck was barely on the goal line. Cale Morris with an excellent save.
What happened there was the stick hit the leg pads of Morris, and when he did that, he lost control of the puck. He wasn't able to get back to it. His body was going with so much momentum forwards. He wasn't quite able to get the stick to make contact with the puck again. By the way, what I think you might have missed there was Cam Morrison. He's back in. He's still playing. He's on the ice now.
That's good news.
He was part of another scary collision where he took out one of his own players back in the other corner, but he's good.
The faceoff is won by the Fighting Irish as Janicki now does a cross-ice pass that's waved as an offside. Notre Dame bench certainly wants that one back, but the Wolverines are happy with that, as is the crowd here at Yost Ice Arena. It's a full house tonight, folks.
It actually looked a bit like an icing, and considering it's the home closer, I mean, yeah, the house is full. The children of Yost doing their maze-out stuff. Getting real excited about this game, louder than I've ever heard them before.
The face-off will be between O'Leary and Lambert on the near circle in the Notre Dame side. Face-off is won by Notre Dame, who's really been winning a lot of these face-offs, and they've been quite successful in the dot now. Clubman is roaring through the center ice and stick handles with the puck, and a save by Strauss-Mann. 17 minutes, 55 seconds to go in the second period. The shots are 8-5 in favor of Notre Dame. We're here in the second period for those of you just joining us.
Despite feeling like these key faceoffs have been won a lot by Notre Dame,
yes.
Michigan is only down 9-14 in terms of faceoffs, and they're also winning the shot blocking battle 6-10.
Oh wow, okay.
Some real good defense played, but again, they've only had one shot on goal this period so far. It's been only 2 minutes, but their sum is now 5 shots on goal.
Hopefully they can get some more and wake up. The face-off is between Pastujov and O'Leary. It's won by Pastujov. The Wolverines come back the other way with it, and now Michael Pastujov, the younger of the two brothers, dumps the puck back into his defensive end, and Griffin Luce, the hulking senior, is there to pick it back up. A delayed offsides, it's not counted by the referees, and now there looks to be potentially an icing against Michigan.
It is senior night here at Yost Ice Arena, and I'll tell you what, there are 10 seniors leaving this squad today. I think actually it might be 9, but one of those two numbers.
Yes.
Only 6 of them are real players who are on the bench or on the ice right now. It's a big loss, Captain Will Lockwood,
number
certainly. 10. He has 21 points on the season.
The faceoff is won by the Wolverines as Blankenberg looks to try and knock it off the stanchion, and luckily Morgan and Nick Pastujov are there. As Nick Pastujov now skating across the Big Ten symbol with a pass to his brother, and a great passing play that almost led to a goal, but Cale Morris is there to save it, and now the Notre Dame dumps it back the other way with an icing that's whistled off, or that's waved off because of some great speed skating by Burke, and now the two Pasta brothers, as they're known, are fighting to get back the puck. Griffin Luce with a great pass that trickles in. Now Morgan on the near circle with a pass in the slot to Michael Pastujov, but he whiffs on it. Nick Pastujov now with a great hit, as the Wolverines are really putting on a show here, trying to generate a goal, but an unfortunate timing for that statement, as a turnover is conducted by Michael Pastujov, the younger of the two Pasta brothers, right in his own blue line, but the older players are there to keep it together and hopefully get it all back. A pretty ugly hit in the center ice with 2 Michigan Wolverines and 1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish all knocking into each other like a couple of bowling pins. But everyone seems to be okay, as Summers now, the defenseman for the Wolverines, settles and slows the game back down. He dumps the puck in, and now Cale Morris, the goalie, has his puck behind his net, and he knocks it out, and the refs blow the whistle. And let's see what the call is. It's likely to be a face-off in the Notre Dame's end.
Yeah, what happened there, Michigan goes back and forth between these flashes of brilliance, these moments of opportunity, 3 offensive opportunities that should have been goals, and then they go back into giveaways and running into each other on the ice.
Oh.
What you saw there was 2 Michigan players running into each other, and one of their bodies while they were down knocked over another Fighting Irish.
The face-off now won by Pavakah for Notre Dame, as yet again a Wolverine falls over. Morris now with the puck behind his own net, and Notre Dame is really trying to get the puck out of their zone. A good wrist shot from the point by Cam York now. And Luke Martin whiffs on the puck and has to turn around the other way. Puck hits a stanchion or perhaps the Wolverines bench. The ref blows a whistle as the play is dead.
That went off Nolan Moyle's glove on the bench, and that's why that play is dead.
You got to keep your hands inside the cart
at all times.
Keep
your hands inside the vehicles at all times. Yes.
And there will be a face-off in the center ice. There's 15 minutes and 44 seconds left. Wolverines recorded another shot as their shots are 8-6 in favor of the Fighting Irish. And the face-off is won by Hearst, and the puck goes all the way back in front of Straussman's net, and almost a turnover right in the slot that could have led to a pretty ugly goal for Notre Dame, but luckily that has not happened. John Beecher with a turnover to Statsny. Statsny now in the far circle in his defensive end, and his turnover leads to Cam York, the freshman defenseman, picking back up, but it's snapped up by Clubman, and Clubman again pass it to Statsny in center ice, who again turns it over. Clubman now and a couple of his other teammates scramble in front of the Big Ten symbol in their own defensive end as Nick Granites now comes looking for a pass in the circle, but it's picked up by Burke and he brings it the other way. He passes across the Michigan Medicine symbol and across the Wolverines blue line on the far side in the circle as Notre Dame looks to make a switch. Dello now with an opportunity after one of the Wolverines stumbles over, looks to make a wrist shot, but now the ref blows a whistle as looks like Jimmy Lambert is grabbing his wrist after a slash, but now we're back for a TV timeout.
Some good things to hear is that the children of Yost are going hard, and they count their successes and how many members got kicked out during a game. And so far, the children of Yost are up to 1. So Tom, if you're listening, good job. And furthermore, it took all my willpower, considering I'm the color commentator, and your play-by-play, to not talk during the whistles, in between whistles. It took all my willpower to not yell, "What are you doing?"
I saw your frustration with some pretty ugly turnovers.
Straussman stood in the crease, his back to the play, his puck stick on the puck, with the puck easily inches away from the goal line. He did not see a Notre Dame player coming back behind him. Luckily, he passed when it did. Otherwise, we could be seeing a 1-0 game right now. That was dangerous. I hate when goalies play the pucks. I hate when they go behind the net to play the pucks. It's always dangerous. You'll see once per night on the NHL, a goalie goes behind the net, tries to make a pass. Someone will take the pass from the other team and score in a wide open net. Goalies need to learn how to stay in their nets.
There are some goalies who are better than others at handling the puck, and
Devin Dubnik is not one of them, and apparently neither is Straussman.
Yes, perhaps not, as the face-off will be in the circle in the Wolverine zone. It's won by the Wolverines as well. Jake Slager, the small senior, skates with the puck with Nick Granites, and as both Slager and Granites tumble back, and it might be a 4-on-2. But the Wolverines come back in speed, and a great defensive play by Nick Pasov, who blocks a wrist shot by Notre Dame players. Slager comes back the other way, and he receives a big hit from Janicki saying, "Get out of my end." The puck trickles in, and Griffin Luce is there to stop it, but the refs are going to blow the whistle dead, saying a hand pass, looks like it.
Yep.
And that's going to be a face-off.
The next senior I'd like to take a moment to look at is Nick Pasti, the elder of the two Pasta brothers, as you like to call him.
Yes.
He plays on the line a lot with his brother. Last year, he had so much chemistry with his brother, he kept running into him on the ice, knocking him over. This year, Pastiyov has 15.7 goals, and his career at UMich has 57 points. He's going to be missed.
He certainly will, and
he'll be at the Islanders next year.
Luck, hopefully.
Yeah, or the AHL version.
Yes, I think the Hartford
is New York.
Oh, yes,
well, Rangers,
right. Well, the face-off was won by Notre Dame, and now Straussman covers up a wrist shot with his glove, and the refs blow the whistle. 14 minutes and 1 second left in the second period. The score is 0-0, and the shots are 9-6 in favor of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There'll be a face-off in the Wolverines' defensive end between Burke, and Nick Pasajov, the elder Pasta brother. And the Wolverines win that face-off, but they immediately turn it over to Notre Dame. But luckily, the Wolverines get it back. As Michael and Nick on the same line Michael hounds Clubman, a defenseman for the Irish. And Nick does the same. When a great pass by Clubman to Crawford swings its way into the Wolverines' defensive end, but as there are more players that keep falling on this ice, it allows Michigan to recoup their defense and prevent any shots on net. 13 minutes, 20 seconds left in the second period. As a pass by Pearson goes to Michael Pastov, who passes it back to Pearson, who subsequently ices the puck. And the refs will blow the whistle.
By the way, the AHL team for the Islanders is the Bridgeport Sound Tigers.
Bridgeport.
So that's most likely where we're going to see Nick Pastov next year. His brother will be a senior next year, so we'll be talking about him in almost exactly a year's time.
Yes, we wish Nick the best of luck, but the season is not over yet, and some unfortunate news, folks. Jimmy Lambert, a sophomore out of Saskatoon, is going to have to go back to the locker room after receiving what looked like an ugly wrist injury a couple minutes earlier.
I believe this is the second time he's been injured in a month.
Yeah.
He took a nasty shoulder bump.
Our best wishes to Jimmy Lambert, who's had a good season and unfortunately had some wrist troubles and injuries early this year. So our thoughts will be with him.
He hurt his leg back against, I want to say, Ohio State. And then now he was given a little bit extra care. He's the skater that doesn't have a line today. Just a little bit put out there, get him back into the game before the tournament. And it looks like even then he's still injured.
Will be between Graham and Hurst. As, yes, for all those wondering, Morrison of Notre Dame, Cam Morrison, has returned. The puck is held by Stastny of Notre Dame. In his defensive end, pass it to Morrison, who bats it out of the air, but Luke Martin, the defenseman, passes a puck and picks it up with a pass to Cam York, who unfortunately turns it over, but Will Lockwood's there to deliver some brute force to Stastny. York again in the center in neutral zone, and Will Lockwood, who's really been a headhunter this evening, and a dangerous play that almost led to a goal in front of the Wolverines' net. But Strauss-Mann tipped the puck out of the air, and some defensive miscommunications of Notre Dame mean that the Wolverines are able to go and get the puck, and the refs are going to blow the whistle after the puck jumped back onto the back of Michigan's net.
If you're wondering why Will Lockwood looks like he's playing with some extra vigor, Johnny Beecher last night, freshman, his line mate, got absolutely rocked against Notre Dame. Took a couple of hard hits. Lockwood may be looking for some retribution, sticking up for his teammates. He's a good captain. It's unfortunate that he's a senior here on senior night.
Yes, he's one of my favorite players on this out of this senior class. And now the Wolverines are going to lose the faceoff, but Dakota Raby with speed is going to go and try and counter Dello. And Dello and O'Leary come out successful with the puck, but Raby hounding them. Nolan Moyle with great hand-eye coordination knocks the puck out of air, but O'Leary is coming the other way on the near circle, skating with one hand on the stick, protecting the puck with force. And a shot by Clubman that's blocked. Clarkson, excuse me, from the point. Clarkson now dumping the puck back in, and with the puck trickling back out into the neutral zone, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to have to reorganize their offensive strategy. Many players falling tonight. O'Leary now with Moyle. And now Jake Slager chasing after the puck, and the refs are going to blow that play dead, and that's going to be an icing. 11 minutes, 26 seconds left in the second period. The shots are 9-6, and it's been a kind of slow past 2 or 3 minutes with both teams really playing a sound defensive game, not really letting up many opportunities in the offensive zone. However,
you're saying?
Michigan has
had 3 offensive opportunities this period, only 2 shots on goal, and they've been leaving so much out on the ice.
They have been leaving a lot, especially in front of their own net. Faceoff is won by Van Wy for the Wolverines, and now it's dumped across the ice, and yet another turnover is picked up by Clubman. Clubman passes it to Pavakah. But Pavakah turns it over. And now Garrett Van Wy is in a scrum on the near side boards, and the refs blow the whistle, and we'll see what comes out of it. So it's either going to be a face-off. Yep, it's going to be a face-off on the near dot on the right side of the ice, facing Strauss-Mann's net. It's going to be between Nolan Moyle and Pavakah, number 20 for the Fighting Irish. Face-off is won by Pavakah, and now the puck goes into the Wolverines' defensive end. Pearson, the diminutive defenseman, turns the puck over and stumbles away, but Nolan Moyle is there to recollect it and pass it to the defenseman Summers. Summers with a pass tape to tape to Morgan, but Morgan falls over and loses his edge, and now Burke is the only player for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the offensive end. Slager now, the senior, who's had an offensive explosion this year, skates through the center ice, across the Michigan Block M, and has a wrist shot that is snapped and caught by Cale Morris, the netminder.
That was a very impressive save by Cale Morris. The ability to snap his glove out there with such speed really robbing Michigan of another opportunity. I wouldn't put that on the list of times that Michigan should have scored, but you could if you wanted to say, all right, that should have been something a lot better.
On some less skilled netminders, that's a goal. But
if we were playing Penn State,
for Morris, that's a routine save.
He's so good.
He is quite good. But luckily we have Strauss-Mann. The face-off is won by Notre Dame. Now Crawford for Notre Dame, a defenseman, comes and knocks a puck into the air, and Luke Martin loses his edge, but he's able to dump the puck into the offensive zone. And now some great passing between the Pasta brothers, Nick and Michael, is leading to some potential offensive opportunities. Now Nick and Michael again. The wrist shot by Nick that really made Cale Morris stretch as he was watching the puck, and Michael losing his edge. But the wrist shot by Luke Martin from the far point. Now a good hit that causes a puck to go out of the ice, and that is likely going to be a face-off out into...
If this were the NHL, I would call that a delay of game penalty. That went straight off of a Notre Dame stick right to the waiting hands of one of the event staff. He made a great catch. But besides that, it was truly straight off of the Notre Dame stick, no deflections. But here in the NCAA, that doesn't count.
Yes. Any other hockey league, that is a delay of game. Now there will be a Notre Dame timeout for 1 minute, as the children of Yost make their presence known as they sit behind the Notre Dame bench, trying to distract the Notre Dame coach, and we'll see how much this works, perhaps, if only just for a rest for those players.
Fun fact about the children of Yost, they are technically not allowed to bang on the glass right behind the bench, nor are they allowed to reach over the bench or have their heads over the bench. What they are allowed to do is make as much noise as possible, and in an interview with one of the children of Yost leader, whose name is randomly escaping me at this moment.
Maybe we don't give his name.
He's a popular figure.
Yeah, I don't...
There's an interview with him on the WCBN blog. So if you want to read that interview, he'll talk more about the Section 16 and how important it is to be behind the enemy bench, and how big that was for when the Children of Yost expanded from 2 sections to 3. They were given the option of a section out on the other side to get the entire corner, or behind the Notre Dame bench. And they said that they want, not the Notre Dame, but the away bench. And they said they want the away bench because that's where they can make the most impact. The Children of Yost really are the seventh man on the ice at all times.
Yes.
Strauss-Mann's the 6th.
A lot like the Seattle Seahawks have
their 12th man, yeah.
Their 12th man.
Children of Yost got snubbed on the list of top 10 college student sections of hockey, and they rained fury down on the author of that article.
The face-off now will be in the Wolverines in the offensive zone, in Notre Dame's defensive end, and puck goes out of the ice, and Blankenberg now passes it to his defensive partner Cam York as yet another player stumbles down. Looked like that was Lancel. Blankenberg skating with force and a shot. Great pass to Hurst, that was. Number 16 for the Michigan Wolverines. It goes just over the post of Cale Morris's net. Now Hurst on the far circle with a good pass to Blankenberg, who defers a shot. Now is on the far circle looking to make a pass, and he gets knocked into midair, but that was a great offensive opportunity as the Wolverines are really putting on the burners now, trying to get something going as Notre Dame is clearly tired. Hurst on the near circle loses his edge, and the puck goes over to Lunzel, and now Burke, the captain of Notre Dame, putting some pressure on. But now it's going to be a 2-on-2, well, a 3-on-2 now, but Will Lockwood is unable to make a shot on goal. Now finally, for the first time in this game, the Wolverines are leading in the shots department with 10 shots as opposed to Notre Dame's 9. There's 8.5 minutes left in the second period. Esteves now with the pass to Morrison, and Pearson, however, is there to recollect the puck behind his own net, behind Straussman, as there's a scrum there right next to the Myers sign. A lot of heads, some golden helmets now. Collect a pass out to the point as the captain, Will Lockwood, has fallen.
That'll be a penalty on Michigan.
His edge, and he's looking.
There's going to be a penalty on the Wolverines coming up here. We'll see what the call is.
Yes, and the captain, Will Lockwood, looking like he blocked a serious wrist shot.
Going to the penalty box right now is Michigan. They said number 6.
Yes.
Jack Summers.
2
minutes for holding.
But what I will say, though, is the refs, hopefully they're talking to the other bench boss.
Doesn't
the penalty box.
Doesn't look like the replay's showing anything, so I don't think Notre Dame is going to have some problems here. But they'll be on a power play. They're I want to say third one. They had no shots the first time, 2 shots the second time. Still no power play goals for them, as this game remains scoreless. Children of Yost can chant, "We're going to score," as much as they want, and the University of Michigan Wolverines can play offensively amazingly as much as they want. But you know what Michigan can't do right now? They can't finish anything. This game should be 4-0. There are 4 specific times I can point to. The scrum in front of the net with Granites. The Lockwood breakaway over there. There are 4 different times where I can say we should have scored. We should have gone past Cale Morris. And not because Cale Morris is great, because we're not great, because we're not finishing these plays. Michigan, that loss got to their head. They were on a winning streak. They did amazingly. They turned it on. Granites got a hat trick a couple games ago. Something's changed in this team. We shouldn't have lost to Notre Dame last night. Just looking at the skill levels of the 2 teams, we should be winning tonight. Something's different.
Let's get you down the locker room. As that is a message the Wolverines definitely need to hear. But as this power play started for Notre Dame, the Wolverines have already dumped the puck out, and both teams look to resettle their offensive and defensive structures respectively. The children of Yost clapping in force, trying to distract Notre Dame, as Hellicksen on the point for the Irish. Pass it to Thiessen. Tyson now with the slap shot that breaks his stick. Now the Wolverines have an opportunity to go and knock this puck out of their defensive zone. Lieberman now with the pass from Tyson. Now in the near circle, Hellicksen, or O'Leary to Hellicksen. Hellicksen now to Tyson. And O'Leary in the slot with a great wrist shot, but it's knocked aside by Straussman. The puck is still in control by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Tyson in the near circle, passing it back to his partner O'Leary. O'Leary to Hellicksen. Hellicksen on the point. Now a shot. Dangling through the zone, but Straussman covers the puck and a great save. And now there's a...
Michigan's out there defending their goalie. There's a scrum in front. There's punching. Yeah, Tyson's going at it right now with Noyle and Moyle. Some rights. Van Wy is piling on top of someone. Van Wy is going on top of that. Looks to be number 19 in Notre Dame. I can't tell you who that is. Van Wy's up. His helmet's off. He's being pulled apart by the refs. O'Leary, that's 19. All right, yeah, O'Leary. Straussman's even pulling Van Wy off. They are not happy with O'Leary running into Straussman. And you know what? As an ex-goalie myself, when someone runs into your goalie and your team stands up for you, that shows a lot. Strauss-Mann is a sophomore. It's his first year playing for the Wolverines in a regular starting role.
Yes.
This team loves him. This crowd loves him. Strauss-Mann's been fantastic.
He's been an absolutely fantastic component of this Michigan Wolverines hockey club. And we love to see that. We love to see that respect and that love for your netminder. Now both teams are going to have the first club is going to have a penalty. The Wolverines now have 2 players.
I would say Van Wy is the only one who should get penalized for that, personally. But
we'll see.
The captains are still talking with the referees, so things may not be finished deliberating. Also, Fighting Irish, they're a Catholic school, right? They're a Christian school?
Yes.
Yeah. I think, even though that's true, God might be on Strauss-Mann's side just a little bit. That slap shot where Tyson? No. Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson.
When his stick broke. That was pure luck because Strauss-Mann was able to get his pad all the way over there for that shot. But if there would have been elevation, 1-0 game.
Other than the posts, the sound of a puck hitting the post being a really great sign of relief for netminder, it's seeing that stick break on a winding slap shot.
It's a real weight off your chest. Then he's got to go all the way back to the bench, get a new stick, come all the way back. It's all 4-on-4, especially when you're on the penalty kill. That's a welcome sign. And there's still discussion, and it looks like it'll be a 5-on-3 opportunity for Notre Dame here for 45 seconds.
Oh, wow. 6.
Yeah, Summers and Van Wy are in the penalty box.
6
no
minutes
penalties
and 46 seconds left. As the referees have yet to officially signal this additional penalty, but they do go get a puck. Looks like both teams are having a timeout now as Pearson is delivering a must-needed speech to his players.
He's drawing up a play. They're just going to say, listen, if we're 5-on-3, we're going to play some really loose defense, because that's unfortunately what happens when you have 2 men down. There's going to be a good triangle. You're going to see one man going up in front, and Notre Dame does have a penalty.
Oh, that's
Notre Dame does have a penalty. I'm going to say that's 19.
It's
Who did you say that
O'Leary.
was? O'Leary. I'm going to say that's going to be for goaltender interference. He didn't throw that many punches.
No, he didn't. But he did mess with Strauss-Mann.
Those will be offsetting, so it'll be still 5-on-4?
Yep.
Roughing on O'Leary and roughing on Van Wy are the official calls. So, officially, that is roughing for both teams. Now things are getting back. Notre Dame still not happy, still not going over towards that face-off circle.
There's a face-off now in the far circle between Pasajov and Burke, the captain. And it's a save.
There was a shot.
Strauss-Mann.
There was a shot right off the draw. That was dangerous, but Strauss-Mann, this is what he does. I say it every time I'm here. He makes saves and he stops the play. When another team has a power play or when another team has momentum, he'll stop them dead in their tracks every time. If you give him the chance to freeze the puck, you know he's going to do it.
He certainly does. He's a save maker.
I think my dad's Brooklyn accent just bled through a little bit.
The save is, or the face-off is won by Notre Dame as Statsny passes it to Steves. Steves now back to Statsny, who's on the point, and an attempted shot is whiffed. And now the Wolverines come back the other way. Nick Pasajov and Jacob Hurst looking to make some plays, but really just going to kill some time in that penalty. And now Sweeney comes back the other way. Or Statsny comes back the other way. He defers to Steves. Steves now skating with speed careens into the Wolverines' end boards, and the puck is barely held in with a great pass by Dello. Dello now turns the puck over. And now there's a shot that's from a great pass behind the net, but the Wolverines come back the other way. Morgan knocks the puck through 2 Irish players and comes back through, but is unable to. And a great stretched pass that is luckily whistled as icing against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 5 minutes and 34 seconds left remaining in the second period. The shots are 10-13 in favor of Notre Dame. And a penalty was just killed by the Wolverines, but there are still 2 players, one in each penalty box. After some formalities exchanged next to Strauss-Mann, the netminder, the face-off is won by Pavakah for Notre Dame, and it is held in by Summers, but unfortunately is picked up and brought the other way with force by Haggart. With a shot that goes wide, perhaps he's trying to pass it or tip it, but now the puck is held and carried out passed by Luce. Summers with Pearson, his partner, skates behind his own net, is looking for a partner to pass it to, and it goes to John Beecher, but goes through his legs as perhaps he didn't see it. The puck is dumped in by Slager, and the puck is now picked up by Pearson. Pearson and Summers, 2 defensive partners, and John Beecher there digging at the puck between some Notre Dame players on the end boards in the near side. Puck goes through center ice, and with a passing, and is passed back behind Strauss-Mann's net, and John Beecher now looking for a pass. Now John Beecher in the near circle in the Notre Dame's defensive end to Michael Pastov. Michael now with the wrist shot by Luke Martin with the great juicy rebound given up by Cale Morris, but no one was there to shoot it. Michael and Nick Pastov, 2 brothers with great chemistry, and John Becker there as well, or Jack Becker. Nick Pastov with some great defense as well. And Becker to Nick Pastov. Now Nick Pastov with the 2-on-1 and a shot by Cam York that's blockered aside by Cale Morris. But it is held in the Wolverines, or held into in Notre Dame's defensive end. Clifford comes back the other way. Crawford. And now he dumps the puck back in. And it's going to be recollected by the freshman defenseman Cam York. Skates up the near side, crosses the offensive and defensive blue lines, and skates all the way around Cale Morris's net. He's encounters a Notre Dame defenseman, and now Graham comes back the other way with Morrison, who's injured earlier in the first period. Strauss-Mann grabs the puck out of the air like a second baseman, and there will be a face-off now. The shots are 13-12 in favor of Notre Dame, and the score is still 0-0, with 3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the second period.
As there's another TV timeout, I'd like to take the moment to appreciate one other senior on this roster, Hayden Levine. He's the backup goalie. He's got 1 loss on the year and no wins because he started that game against the United States National Development Team, the under-18s. That was just an ugly game for the Wolverines all around. But in that game, and also in his time playing against Windsor, that 8-2 win in an exhibition game at the very beginning of the season, he has a 903 save percentage, a 921 save percentage. His career, he's had a 903 save percentage, 31, 26, and 7 with the Wolverines. But sometimes you got to sit down and you got to give way to greatness. And Strauss-Mann certainly is greatness here. And the yellow in the maize and blue. I almost called it yellow. I would be roasted alive.
Maize.
Yes. You know, yellow is the only color that changes names when you put the word Michigan on top of it.
Make a fair point.
I'm sure everyone listening to this who's a Michigan fan is not happy with me right now, but I said the truth, and sometimes you need to say that. Looks like Luce is still on the ice. He's a fantastic player, a good hard hitter. Really brings a lot of oomph to this defense.
He's a big, strong player on a team that's otherwise, with the exception of John Beecher, somewhat smaller. The face-off is won by Notre Dame in the offensive zone, and Hellicksen from the point next to the Big Ten symbol has a wrist shot that goes just wide and is knocked aside by Strauss-Mann. A big scrum behind Strauss-Mann's net, and out comes Nick Blankenberg with it, who passes it to one of his fellow Wolverines, but they dump the puck in and turn it over. Now Griffin Luce skating in his defensive end to pass it to Blankenberg, who's looking for someone to pass it to, and Dakota Raby's there trying with all his might, and now a great shot by Notre Dame, but it's knocked aside by Strauss-Mann. Hellicksen now with the wrist shot that was deflected and trickled off of the block, one of the pads of Strauss-Mann. And now the puck is going to be picked up by the Wolverines as that was a delayed offsides. 2 minutes, 29 seconds to go in the second period. And Janke coming back into the offensive zone, and a shot that's smothered by man. 2 minutes, 21 seconds left. The shots are 16-12 in favor of Notre Dame. The score is still 0-0.
After Michigan had a couple of opportunities, when you saw that roughing penalty, those offsetting minors, you see a lot of the times Notre Dame has felt like they had the momentum here. Notre Dame's been the team that's been taking control. They've been taking the shots. They've been getting the opportunities. That great shot you mentioned went off of the shoulder of Strauss-Mann, the top of the shoulder.
The faceoff is won by the Wolverines, but it's recollected by the captain, Burke, who's skating, trying to knock him Summers off of his tail, but he's playing some excellent defense. Pass by Burke to Statsny, but he whiffs on the pass, and now he has to go and prevent the offsides and come back all the way into his defensive end. The long stretch pass by Notre Dame, but now John Beecher, unfortunately some good defense for Notre Dame. Now Slager with almost a breakaway opportunity, but he stumbles on what has been a slippery ice tonight, and a wrist shot by Notre Dame from the top of the far circle, and it's smothered again by Strauss-Mann.
That's got to be heartbreaking for Slager. You have that breakaway opportunity, you have that chance, and you don't fall because you're tripped and you get a penalty shot. No, you fall because you fall, and you just lost your balance.
Well, it has been slippery, obviously.
It has.
Slippery, but there have been so many players that have taken a spill tonight.
These teams are playing with a lot of fire in there. Sometimes you just can't control yourself.
The faceoff is won by Notre Dame by Stevens now to Hellicksen. Hellicksen down behind the Wolverines net. Now looking for a pass. Hellicksen at the point with the wrist shot that's blocked by Becker, and who hounds him. Becker, who comes out with the puck and passes it to Nick Pasti, who's not really ready for it, but he goes into the offensive zone nonetheless. His brother Michael Pasti is there to the rescue and passes it to Cam York, who is a little bit out of position. Now a pretty dangerous play by Cam York to try and bring the puck around his own defensive end, but Strauss-Mann is there to help pass it out of the way, and now Martin will dump the puck in to the offensive zone and behind Notre Dame's net. Graham now to Stevens, but Michael Pasti is looking, pass it to his brother. Cam York now on the near circle with the wrist shot that's trying to get tipped, but it's picked up by Morris, and the refs blow the whistle. 46 seconds left. The shots are 17-12 in favor of Notre Dame. Well, sorry, 17-13 as the refs just recorded that last shot that was saved by Morris. The score is 0-0.
Strauss-Mann must have seen something that he usually doesn't, because even though he always stops the puck and frees it, this time he let the play continue. This time he passed it off instead. He must have seen a chance for a Michigan offensive opportunity that we didn't see from up here.
And it led to a great wrist shot. And now the face-off, I would argue, yep, that's won by the Wolverines. And now Morgan with the pass in the slot that almost could have bounced in. Some great offensive awareness, but now the Notre Dame Fighting Irish come the other way. Tyson with a pretty aggressive hit on Blankenberg, but now a pass to Slager, who stumbles, and now Morgan now is hounding on Clubman, a defenseman for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Loose, the hulking senior, with the pass to Hurst. But Statsny comes and tries to get it, and Slager has a great stick, and with the end of this second period, we see Notre Dame hold the puck behind their net, and the refs will blow the whistle and the buzzer will sound. We will see you next period, folks. The score is still 0-0. The shots are 17-13 in favor of Notre Dame, and it has been a more eventful second period, but yet no offense.
A quick mention: the Michigan Wolverines coaching staff sits to our right, and I felt the table shake when he slammed his fist down. He feels we should be winning this game. I feel like we should be winning this game. I think you might too.
Oh, I definitely do. There was an opportunity for Slager where he was just robbed by Morris.
That's how it is.
Morris.
And now
the Wolverines will break through.
We're going to go into this, and we'll talk to you in about 15 minutes in between periods. Let's call it 14 and a half. All right.
See you soon,
Talk to you then.
Welcome back now to the third period of action between Michigan and Notre Dame. Just like last night, we enter the third period scoreless. Notre Dame got the first goal last night. They scored about 5 minutes into the third period, added another shortly after. Michigan will look to get the first goal here in the third period, and I'm Alex Drain, joined by Joshua Tenzer for the third period. What do you think Michigan has to do to get that goal?
Take shots from the left side. If you look at the shot chart that got handed out in the second period, what you see is that Michigan's take all their shots from the left side, and Cal Morris has dealt with those pretty easily. The one shot that came from the right side was pretty dangerous, and things taken from the center seem to be pretty dangerous as well. And the Michigan's also got to finish their opportunities. What I ranted about last period a lot was that Michigan wasn't able to finish their offensive opportunities. If they're able to get one...
A little more even, but this has been a tight series all weekend long. These two teams battling, and Notre Dame has done what they wanted to do. They have come in and they have slowed this game to a screeching halt, bogging down Michigan's speed very, very well. And that's where we sit at 0 as the players come back out onto the ice. 1 minute until puck drop on the third period here at Senior Day, Yost Ice Arena. Michigan potentially saying farewell, of course contingent on home games during the Big Ten tournament that could be a factor, but potentially saying farewell to Hearst, Slager, Lockwood, Martin, Luce, Switzer, Winborg, and Levine, the senior class for the Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan really needs this game to turn out to be a win if they want to be able to have a shot at the first place in the Big Ten regular season, have home ice advantage all tournament. Because at least on the University of Michigan website, it said that the home ice was the higher seed throughout the entire tournament all the way to the finals.
Yep, each round it will be hosted by the higher seed. Michigan entered this game in fourth at the Big Ten, 1 point ahead of Notre Dame. 1 point behind Ohio State, 4 points back of Minnesota, and 5 back of Penn State, but they have 2 games in hand on Penn State, and they play Minnesota next weekend, so they still control their own destiny even after the loss last night, but it needs to be 3 wins to close out the season to do so, and it starts tonight in this third period. They need a win, and they'll have 25 minutes to do it, 20 here in the third, and of course if it's still tied, they'll do 5 minutes of 5-on-5 overtime, NCAA mandated. Puck drop at center ice between Hurst and Pavakah. We are underway in this third period, still scoreless. Notre Dame wins that draw back. Statsny and Klurman out there on the second pairing to start the period. Michigan gains possession, gives it up to Beecher. He brings it in the offensive end, just chips it down low as it rattles around the boards. Hurst over to grab it along the half wall. Beecher behind him. Beecher tries to dig it out, instead just slings it around the boards the other way. Martin, one of those seniors, pinches down to hold it in. Lockwood trucks a man. Hurst an opportunity, skates in, takes a shot, and a big save by Morris. A shot through traffic is tipped around, but nobody could get a rebound after Martin let one go from the right point. Notre Dame skates down the other way. Shot from way out is blockered aside. Now a pass across Hellicksen, and a shot goes off the side of the net. Morrison thought it was in, and he started celebrating, but that one missed wide. Raby skates through the middle with it, going coast to coast. He gets brought down in front of the net. Moyle to it, though. Pass there. Van Wy, a shot on a one-timer goes wide. Michigan coming out with some energy. Blankenberg throws it down low. Not sure who he was looking for, and it'll rim around the other way. Notre Dame to it, then they parry it back the other side. Blankenberg couldn't hold it in. The referee in the way there. Van Wy picks it up in the neutral zone, brings it back in the offensive end. He takes a shot that was blocked by Hellicksen. Van Wy to it behind the net with it on the backhand. Into the middle, a shot high and over top from Moyle. Michigan already has gotten 3 really nice chances. Notre Dame to it, they bring it on out. Morrison there, Steve's in the middle, and that one shut down excellently by Griffin Luce, getting low. Now Granites takes it, and he brings it on in to the offensive end. Michigan gets fresh skaters out there just 90 seconds in, and Michigan is buzzing here early in the period. Morgan had it and lost it. It just flubbed to the middle. Dello had it on his stick, and then he just sends it down. Man comes out behind the net to play it, and promptly cleared on out by the Wolverines. Recollected just on the Irish side of center ice, where Charlie Wraith up to Colin Tyson, and Man comes out to play it again, back to Jack Summers. Pearson banks it off the boards, looking for Granites, plays it between his own legs to Morgan. Fancy play there, and they come out with it. Morgan works around his man, Michael Pastishov down there. Morgan banging around, and a shot from a bad angle by Pastishov. Pearson, a chance in front of the net. blocked to the side, traffic in front, a screen of 3 bodies in front of Morris, and they were all there. Ricocheted off of them to the corner. Irish bring it out, but then they come in to the Michigan zone illegally, whistled for an offside. 17:31 to go in the third period. Shots 18-14 in favor of Notre Dame, but Michigan has come out sharp.
If there was a word to describe the past 2 periods, I would say chances, specifically wasted chances. And 2.5 minutes into this third period, it looks to be a little bit more of the same for Michigan. 2 great offensive opportunities, neither of which resulted in a goal. Some bad puck luck, some bad bounces, but you got to be able to capitalize on those.
Hurst to do the draw with Pavakah right in front of the Michigan end. Wolverines win it back, and a stick was broken. That was Pavakah's. He'll go over to the bench as Michigan will do some dump and chase. Slager in after it. Burke collects it, and out come the Gold Domes the other way. This matchup of 2 iconic football helmets, also iconic hockey helmets, as Burke takes a shot that rings into the netting, and the whistle sounds. We'll have a face-off in the Michigan end as looked like Luke Martin got a hand, or a stick rather, on that one as it flipped up into the netting and out of play. 17-12 now remaining.
Notre Dame has a slight advantage on the face-offs, 27-20. Michigan still winning that blocking game. 18 shots blocked by the Wolverines, only 9 blocked by the Fighting Irish.
Well, Luke Martin entered this weekend as the best shot blocker in NCAA hockey, and he's been strong for Michigan all season long in that department. We've seen Michigan, especially on the penalty kill, in which they've killed off 3 Irish power plays, been very willing to lay out the bodies and stop those shots. Hurst and Pavakah do the draw one more time, and Hurst, the grad transfer, wins it again for Michigan, but they couldn't quite get it out of the zone. It got pinched up against the boards. Now York to it in the right corner behind a man. Got flipped up into the air. Martin recollects. He's harassed and gives it back to Hurst. Rattles it along the boards up to Slager, and they just do get it outside the blue line. Comes out to Dello, who takes a long shot from center ice, high and wide into the glove of man harmlessly. Puts it down at the feet of Luke Martin. He sends it in to the offensive zone. Van Wy watches the entering pass go by him. Now it's tipped aside. Raby, or rather that's Slager along the boards alongside Moyle and Van Wy, watching as a shot comes in wide of Morris. They had to get back on sides, exiting the zone. 16:30 to go. Puck down behind the Irish net where it's collected by Troy Dello. Dello from Crystal Lake, Illinois, passes it across to Statsny. 16:15 to go. Flip down the ice. Oh, and a hard hit there right in front of the Michigan bench. Blankenberg leveled Pierce Crawford. Crawford went down hard right in front of the Mays jerseys on the Michigan bench. Van Wy whacks at it, sends it into the Notre Dame end, and now some pushing. Crawford hits Blankenberg from behind back into the Notre Dame bench. Crowd wanted a penalty, definitely seemed late, but they let Crawford get his revenge. Burke watched that one go by as Becker picks it up right at center ice, skating in the offensive end with the Pastijov brothers. Goes up against the boards. Michael and Nick pinned up there with Becker and 3 Fighting Irish just outside the Michigan offensive end. They dig it free. Summers across. He'll swing it around the boards. Cale Morris comes out behind to play it. These 2 excellent goalies continuing to keep this game even at 0 apiece as we now hit 15:30 to go in the third period of a crucial Big Ten matchup. Morrison sends it down low towards the goal line. Summers collects it. Keaton Pearson digs it out. Cross to Mike Pastijov. Pearson skates through the middle, was intended for Summers and intercepted by an Irish. Now a long stretch pass right wing side to Colin Tyson, brings it in the offensive zone, puts on the brakes, throws it to the net front. Couldn't connect with Steves though. Still along the boards, a nice centering pass there for O'Leary, couldn't connect. Now out to the point, a shot taken aside. O'Leary still got it. His try right at the left circle was turned aside. Granites and Pastijov went down to the ice. Now another try in front of the net, tipped in the air, whacking at it. Looked like O'Leary might have played that one out of the air twice. And then Michigan finally gets to it, and Michael Pastijov still can't clear. This Michigan team has struggled all season at just quickly getting it out of the zone, and they almost had disaster there as that stretch pass from Notre Dame is actually going to go for an icing, a cheap icing there, but Michigan will take it, and they'll get an offensive zone draw.
O'Leary showed a flash of brilliance there, being able to play the puck out of the air twice, keep it up, keeping his stick below the crossbars to avoid a high sticking. I looked like he was trying to take a baseball swing at it and put it in off the air.
Slager to do the draw with Morgan to his right and Granites to his left on the right side of the offensive zone. And the draw is shot to the side. Notre Dame first to it, and they'll promptly get it out. Michigan has to get back on sides as it was repelled back into the Irish zone? They do, and now Gold Domers bring it down. A long stretch pass from the defensive end by Hellicksen is tipped up off a stick blade and into the netting, out of play. 14-18 to go in the game, and we will head to a commercial timeout. Still no score in this one between Michigan and Notre Dame. You're listening to Michigan Hockey on WCBN Sports.
The next senior I want to really highlight in this senior night is Griffin Luce. If you look back at the beginning of the season, the real defensive style of Michigan was let Griffin Luce smack some fools around. Griffin Luce that was the entire defense for the University of Michigan Wolverines before they turned it around and they started playing some real actual defense, and then they started winning games. Griffin Luce has been the only defensive player that has really played all of the games, all of the time. He's going to be a physical presence on a much smaller team, a speedier team. He's going to be a big body, and if he doesn't come back as a graduate like Jacob Hurst did, he's going to be sorely missed by this team. He definitely changes the feel of the team whenever he's on the ice. Nope, that's not him, that's Luke Martin. But when he's there, the team plays differently. The team plays more physical. He's a big presence. He's a big changer for this Wolverine team.
Of a face-off at center ice out of the timeout with 14-18 to go in this scoreless tie between Michigan and Notre Dame. Wolverines win the draw back. York picks it up, and the freshman defenseman leads the rush into the offensive zone, throws on the brakes in the corner. Had it turned aside, but then a puck bounces across to Granites. A shot by Martin through traffic. Now Puck to the side, and nobody could get a shot away there. Pavakah picks it up, brings it on out, and sends it on down. 13:55 to go in the game. Martin swings it over to York down behind. York flips it into the air looking for Raby, but it's going to go over his head too far down. That's a sloppy play from Cam York, and it'll be an easy icing in the face-off in the Michigan end.
On this senior night, you're going to look at a junior real quick. Dakota Raby, he plays with a lot of energy. Next year, he's going to be a senior. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those A's from Jake Slager or Griffin Luce or Luke Martin, all three seniors, all three assistant captains, going off this team this year, if one of those gets passed down to Raby.
And now we see a timeout. Michigan's going to use their timeout. Notre Dame used theirs in the second period on a very similar icing play, and that's the cost of that icing from Cam York. Just really no reason to ice that puck, and he was trying to get it to Raby and just missed him badly. And Michigan spends their timeout. Both teams now will be out of timeouts for the remaining about 13 minutes of this game, looking to break the tie. Strauss-Mann's been pretty good, but despite the shot total leading in favor of Notre Dame, I almost feel like that Morris has made the bigger saves at least. Michigan's had a couple more high percentage chances. Notre Dame's been better at just throwing things at the netminder, and Mann has stopped all of them so far.
There was that first period opportunity where Michigan had the puck on the goal line, and Cale Morse was able to dive around and bat that one back out. He's just been unstoppable, unshakable today. His ability to get from side to side has really come into being highlighted this game. His ability to move laterally and to always keep his eye on the puck and never give up hope.
Well, the timeout taken by Pearson is now over. And Hurst will take the draw against Michael Graham in the defensive end. Hurst out there with Beecher and Morgan, Blankenberg and Luce. They get fresh bodies on the ice because they use the timeout, which negates the icing. Puck across the zone and out. Troy Dello will dump it back in. Griffin Luce collects it in the right circle, banks it off the boards, and intercepted by Morrison before it could get to Morgan. Morrison sends it wide of the net across to Steves. He throws it towards the net front. Beecher does well to push it aside. Now he's going to carry it out and use his speed through the neutral zone. Potential 3-on-2. Notre Dame back checking well, though. Beecher goes wide out to the right, throws it through the middle, and nobody could get to it. Griffin Luce thought about pinching up, decided to back off and just let that one go by. Now Morgan chases down the right wing side as Michigan dumps it back in. He's got the puck in the corner, knocked down to his knees, getting hard checks from behind by Hellicksen. He throws it to the point. Blankenberg sends it down low near the goal mouth. Hurst pushed aside off the puck. Notre Dame collects it. They will send it the length of the ice, but Steves is going to beat Luce down there. They use that speed advantage well. Steves to it as Luce checks him very, very strongly in the corner. Not hard or brutal, but he did well there. Now Tyson a chance, and his shot rings high and over top. Now in the corner, Statsny sandwiched by Van Wy and Moyle. Luce trying to give him some help. Behind the net, O'Leary bangs it around. Goes over to the half wall. Van Wy watches it. Now it rims around the other side. Coming up is Klurman. Sends it down low. And to no one in particular, Van Wy picks it off, banks it off the boards. Can't get it out. That's another poor clear from Michigan. And a shot goes wide of the net, loose to it. Blankenberg tries to get it out, again held in by the Irish. Statsny intercepted by Moyle. Michigan will lead the rush the other way. They need to get everybody off, but Moyle's going to do the job himself and allow his guys to get off the ice. Mike Pastajov holds it in the offensive end, sends it back down low. Moyle was just trying to kill it off himself as a weird miscommunication between the defenders and Morris behind the net. Michigan controls it in the offensive end. Pearson there takes a shot, deflected off the body of Tyson into the corner. Statsny had a chance to clear it out and couldn't, but now a shot from Summers was turned aside by Janicki out of the zone and in to center ice. Pastajov and Moyle, it looks like, pinned against those boards. Moyle's been out there forever. He finally goes to the bench. Keaton Pearson, the freshman, clears it on into the offensive end. Grabbed out of the air by Cale Morris. Couldn't get it out, though. And Pastajov hands it on over to a man pinned in the corner trying to see that number. It's Jack Becker. Irish get to it as they were 2-on-1 in pinning Becker. The Pastajov brothers and Becker out there on this fourth line for Michigan that's bumped up and down the lineup as the season has gone on, but they play well together. And now with 11 minutes remaining in the third period, which team can break this tie? Michigan 0, Notre Dame 0. Wolverines passing with it in their own end. Martin, stretch pass to the middle. Slager, Granites in on sides. Granites pass across to Morgan, trying to crash the back door with a backhand, and he couldn't tap that puck in. It was coming in hot. Cam York tried to repel a rush into the middle. Hellicksen, a shot goes high and over top. A really brutal breakdown there. York allowed his man to get by too easily, and the trailers didn't account for the numbers, but Michigan dodges a bullet as Hellicksen misses the net. Martin stretch pass to Morgan. He's got room on the left wing side into the offensive end. Morgan goes on to one hand, throws it in front. Granites, a backhand, could not go, but still collected in the offensive end. Slager skating around with it. Slager's been a hero for Michigan recently, but he gets brought to the ice by Morrison, and it's out to the neutral zone. Pass through the middle off of Granites and collected by Notre Dame. Steves tries to get around Blankenberg, but he shuts him off. A really fine play there by Nick Blankenberg, but then picked up. Michael Graham brings it in, curling around behind the net, but Beecher comes behind and scoops the puck away. Under 10 minutes to go now in the third period. Beecher on the rush. Potential 3-on-2. Takes a shot right into the belly of Cale Morris. He'll hang on. Michigan getting their energy level back up. Shots now 18-17 in favor of the Irish, and we head to the under 10 media timeout.
There are 21 players on Notre Dame that aren't named Cale Morris. And if Notre Dame wins this game, Morris isn't going to need to buy himself lunch for the next 3 weeks because he has put this team on his back. Each person who's wearing a golden helmet right now needs to give Cale Morris his due because he has been fantastic. That backhand that you were talking about earlier, a great outstretched leg save by Cale Morris. Cale Morris has been all over the place, keeping the pucks everywhere that isn't the back of the net.
Well, in Cale Morris, you look at his career at Notre Dame, he was goaltender of the year in the Big Ten Conference as a sophomore and took Notre Dame within one win of the national title that season. And then last year, still pretty darn good, but he got passed by some estimations in the conference by Tommy Napier in terms of the best goalie in the conference. And then this year has really been maybe the worst year of Morris's career. He's still been a very good goalie, but just has not been the dominant presence he was as a sophomore. Strauss Mann and Letheman of Michigan State have kind of pulled ahead of him in terms of the power rankings of goalies in the conference, but Mann might be good, but Morris is reminding him why he is still in the conversation for the best in the conference. This has been, for a senior in Morris, one last brilliant effort against Michigan, and Michigan fans will not miss him when he is gone, presumably to the minors somewhere next year.
I can't find anywhere that says he's been drafted. But
he was not drafted.
He was not? All right. Well, either way, Letheman, if you only listen to WCBN Sports Radio, you might not think Letheman's all that good recently, but we guarantee you he is.
Yeah, Letheman, tough game on Monday against Michigan at the duel in the D. Face off to the right of the netminder Morris. 9:44 to go in the game. Michigan and Notre Dame tied at 0 in the third period. Draw tied up and come away with it to the Irish. Colin Tyson brings it into the offensive zone, wings it wide of the goalie man, and then It just rims around the boards all the way back down. Nobody touched it. It went pretty much the length of the ice, nestled against the boards. Notre Dame picks it up, long stretch pass. Tyson touched it, so there's no icing. Loose tries to beat Janicki in there to the corner. He throws the body to stop Janicki from getting by, but couldn't get to the puck. Instead, O'Leary's there first for Notre Dame. Beecher brings him down from behind. Beecher put his glove on it, almost a hand pass there, but Michigan wasn't the first to touch it. Now Janicki had it, lost it. Beecher picks it up, and Michigan leads a 3-on-3 rush the other way. Hurst, though, couldn't get a proper pass and threw it behind Beecher. They had to get back on sides. Notre Dame harmlessly threw it out as both teams are in the midst of changes. Under 9 minutes to go in the third period. Pearson skates through the middle, banks it off the boards, rattles on behind where Statsny gets to it, pinned there by Moyle. Raby comes in to help, but he picked the wrong side, and Notre Dame carries it on out, flipped into the air, and Burke will whiz right by Pearson down behind the Michigan net. Summers to it, banging away there. A stick in by Pearson, couldn't quite take it away. Now along the boards, Raby up to the top. Notre Dame takes it away. They've got an offensive zone possession. Statsny skates on down, cuts to the middle, curling around, taking a shot off the post and ringing out. The Irish thought it was in. It did not look like it to my angle, and Moyle's off to the races. He's on a breakaway. Moyle in, and a save. 3 Irish backtracking behind him. He didn't have the time to get a really good shot away. It was a pretty poor shot at that. Notre Dame got one past Strauss-Mann for the first time all night, but it did not hit any twine, and now we're going to have a whistle. And I think they're just going to go review it.
That looked like it hit in my opinion, that looked like it hit the back of the goal, the thing on the crossbar behind the net.
Yep, they say further review with 8 minutes to go. It did not look into me.
Well, we will take a look and see.
Let's take a look.
We can actually look over and see the instant replay booth. So
here's an angle.
Yeah,
oh, yep.
It is in. It is in.
It is in. Wow.
And Notre Dame, just like last night in the third period, strikes first.
And so Notre Dame will get the first goal of this game. That is, it seemed like it looked like the corner to me, but it was actually right in the middle of the net under the crossbar. And they're putting the headset on. I don't know why they're putting a headset on.
It was clear as day from here.
Yeah, that's one where you need one angle, and then you go out there and make the call.
Were they looking for assists now, maybe?
I think they have to check the time.
Well, we will see.
So they'll probably put about 30 seconds back on the clock to around 8:30, but now Michigan will have that much time to get a goal. They got just one last night, and again, you just get the sense that Michigan, all their chances cannot finish. And Notre Dame celebrates. The good goal is announced, so we'll see what they reset the time to. If they don't reset the time, which doesn't appear they will, it'll be 8 minutes exact.
You know that the children of Yost, as unhappy as they are now, would be even more unhappy if that Moyle goal had to be brought back.
Now they put it back on at 8:22. And that was just a great effort by Statsny, curling around, and he just beat man, and that is a just terrific shot there over the shoulder, and that's the thing for Michigan. They've gotten some chances, but they have not let that kind of shot go. I mean, that was an absolute just beautiful wrister there over the top crossbar, and it goes into the back of the net. Michigan now with about 8 minutes to try and tie this game, send it to overtime. Pastajov up to brother Mike, but taken away there, and this is why that goal was so crucial, as Notre Dame excellent under Jeff Jackson with playing with the lead. They park the bus in front of the net as they did last night, and they lock you down. And with the way Morris is playing, it's going to be difficult for Michigan. Notre Dame carries it out. Hellicksen and Pavakah, potential 3-on-2 rush. Across to Burke, intercepted by Martin. Martin skates through the middle, up to Pastajov. He couldn't find it. Michigan right now looking a little all over the place. Pavakah picks it up, backhands it on down. Blankenberg takes it away, skates through the middle. And Blankenberg sends it down towards the goal line, gets there first. Morgan alongside him, banging around the boards. Morgan goes down hard. Granites in behind the play. Granites digging at it, trying to get it free. Now Morgan falls down. Morgan trying to dig it free. no dice, and they continue to claw away at it. Slager, puck comes free into the middle and picked up by Notre Dame. Long stretch pass up to Morrison. He's going to blow by Blankenberg, and he scores.
Not only that, he hits the Gatorade bottle and pops the lid off.
Pretty much the exact same spot, and Morrison just burns by Nick Blankenberg. And much like last night, you can really just tell that Michigan, when that first goal went in, they are just dead.
If Michigan can't find a way to score 2 more goals in the next 6 minutes and 46 seconds, there is no mathematical way for the Wolverines to win the Big Ten in the regular season.
And again, that's the same thing. You just see those kinds of shots are just not being made by Michigan. I mean, Morrison uses his speed. We've seen Hurst. We've seen last night, we saw Lockwood get an opportunity like that. And Michigan just hasn't scored on them. And Notre Dame has. You can just see a little bit more skill. They've been better in terms of converting their chances. And now with a 2-goal lead, Notre Dame is in a really enviable position, just like they were last night. Oh boy, that's a giveaway to O'Leary. Pass across, right in on man. Another try, 2 tries. Janicki there. Maybe Michigan is just dead right now. Loose puck, another save by Strauss-Mann. Beecher falls down, picked up by Hurst. Hurst goes right around Troy Dello, goes down behind the netminder, Morris. Hurst takes it away down low, skates around with it to Van Wy at the top. Martin there through traffic, bounces around, flipped into the air, over the head of Tyson, all the way back down. Martin will win the icing race, but now 6:02 remaining in Michigan. They got nothing right now.
They're the only player playing with any sort of gusto is Strauss-Mann, coming up big with 4 saves on that. Those offensive opportunities, the rebounds coming across ice, cross crease. At one point ended up behind his own net. He's just been the only player that looks like they have any life in them. The offensive players, all the skaters, they look like that goal absolutely deflated them.
Yep, you go down 2 goals, you need to start pressing offensively, and instead you give up 4 grade A scoring chances in a row in your own end. Notre Dame's going to ice this one right down again. And, you think about the way Notre Dame plays. They are a very, very defensive team. They play a war of attrition. And once Notre Dame got the first strike last night, and again tonight, it just seems like Michigan is just done. They have exited the building once they fall down 1 goal.
I remember the last time that the Wolverines got shut out by Notre Dame was 2009.
That one flipped out of play, and the puck will stay in the Michigan offensive end. Notre Dame just doing everything they can to just get it out of the zone right away. And now another draw, 5:53 to go in the game. Notre Dame 2, Michigan 0. It was shots 18-17 in favor of Notre Dame at one point. Now it's 24-17. They have owned the last 5 minutes as Michigan has fallen dead cold. And now a draw is going to be an infraction. They'll do it again, and this game is ground to a screeching halt right now.
This might be pretty good for the Wolverines, that the rest of the game is starting to feel like they've been playing, which is completely not moving at all.
Van Wy will do the draw one more time. That one flips into the air, goes into the corner. Moyle in after it. Morgan there picks it up along the boards, throws it to the net front, can't do so. York skates around, comes down low, and they're going to call a penalty on Michigan. Boy, oh boy.
That's going to be on number 25.
It'll be on Morgan. Morgan's going to get for interference. Morgan took down a Notre Dame player behind the play, and they're going to get him for interference. And again, it's hard to understate how comically poor Michigan has played since that first goal. And that is a really soft call in general. He just kind of got in the way of Tyson, and Tyson sold it well, but Michigan has done nothing to help themselves since that goal was scored.
Last power play that Notre Dame went on, they got 4 shots on goal. I think they're going to get less because I think one of them is going to go in.
Burke to do the draw. Morrison to his right and Graham to his left. And it's corralled by Notre Dame. Graham to Statsny at the top. Graham on the half wall. Up to Statsny at the blue line. Now a beautiful pass. They throw it towards the net front. Couldn't knock it in though. Graham picks it back up. Pursued by Luce and Pastajov. And Graham fans on it. Over to Burke. Back to Statsny at the top. Across to Steves. Back down low to Burke. Swings it around to Graham. Michigan not really pressing at all right now to try and get the puck out of the zone. They're letting Notre Dame do whatever they want passing-wise. Hellicksen to the middle. A shot is deflected off a body. Now down to 5 minutes to go in the game. 1:20 to go in the power play. Statsny across now to Graham through the zone. They've controlled it in the offensive end for 50 straight seconds. Michigan hasn't come close to clearing it out. Morrison across. Van Wy will finally get it out. Banks off the boards, and Pastajov pursued from behind. He'll clear it down. 4:45 to go in the game. Now under a minute to go in the power play. But when you're down 2 goals and you only had 6 minutes left to score 2, you remove 2 minutes full to go on the penalty kill. Absolutely killer. Tyson sends it down low to Janicki. York after it, flipped in the air. Hurst to it, and Hurst just quickly clears it out. 40 seconds remaining. Skated around Leverman. Past Martin. Down low to York. York throws it around. Slaker tries to get it out. Hellicksen holds it in at the point. Hellicksen skates to the middle, takes a shot deflected to Tyson in the corner. Tyson to Leverman at the top, back Tyson at the half wall. They play catch. Leverman skates around Slaker. Slaker whacking at him with the stick. Now thrown to the front. Janicki turned aside Hellicksen as Slaker pinches. Now to the middle. Leverman tried to set up a man in the circle, and instead Hellicksen has to hold on to it. Michigan back to full strength. Morgan's out of the box. Shot goes wide. Janicki throws it to the front. And now it's picked up by Hurst. Michigan's going to join the rush. Morgan is out there. He's the one buzzing with energy out of the box. Hurst to the middle. Toe drag. Shot in on Morris. Didn't get through, and it goes to the corner. Notre Dame to it. They take it away. And Burke will go out with Tyson. Cross the blue line to Burke right in front. Throws it to the net front. Blankenberg takes it away. Now Raby skates around with Granites there. Raby in on offense. Tries to go around a man. Tied up along the boards. 3:08 remaining. Push to the top. Blankenberg there skates in, takes a shot, and Morris saw it all the way. He'll hang on with 3:03 to go. We will go to the final commercial timeout, and Michigan's going to need a miracle to make something happen here.
That Hurst shot went right off the back of the numbers of number 25, Luke Morgan, coming out of the box. I really don't think that Kel Morris would have been able to get to that one first. Just unlucky bounce for Michigan. Morgan pinned up between 2 fighting Irish. Not much he could do to get out of the way. It's just the way this game has been for the Wolverines. Up until the first goal for the Fighting Irish, these Wolverines just had a lot of offensive opportunities. None of them were able to finish. Nothing was able to be capitalized upon. And then once the Fighting Irish scored that goal, yeah, you could feel something different in this team. You could feel the life sort of drain out of them. So I'm going to take this moment to show another appreciation to another one of the seniors, Jake Slager, number 13. He's got an A on his jersey. 26 points this season, 12 of them being goals. If he gets, did he get a point today? No, he's not, because Michigan hasn't scored.
Correct.
But if he does get a point against Minnesota in the next series, he will have 100 points with his career here at the University of Michigan. Playing on his second line with Luke Morgan and Nick Granites. Granites, who really rocketed up the lineup from being a non-player to starting being on the lineup every game. They put Granites, a freshman, with Jake Slager to get him some experience, to have someone to take under his wing. Slager's another player who's going to be missed a lot when he leaves this team next year.
Morgan in the left circle, and he loses that face-off, rims around the boards. With man out, Notre Dame comes through the middle. Puck across, and a shot on the empty net by Pavakah goes wide. Blankenberg will scoop it up under 3 minutes to go now. Carries it through center ice, throws it down low. Rims around the boards. York to Blankenberg, taken away there by Klerman. He'll flip it into the air at center ice. Burke gets to it. He throws it by the net, and it goes wide. York picks it up down behind. 2:30 remaining. Across center ice, rims it along the boards. Hurst to it. Michigan scored with about 45 seconds to go last night, and Hurst doesn't even know where he's throwing that one to. It goes by Blankenberg. He wins the race down there. York picks it up, 2:15 to go. Across to Hurst in the offensive end. Hurst tries to get around Dello and couldn't. To Summers at the top. Across to York. Summers at the top. A shot goes just wide, and that's the kind of bounce that Michigan just has not gotten at all this weekend. Good deflection wide of the net, though. Notre Dame to it. Graham across to O'Leary just inside the blue line. York did a nice job to poke it away from him. Sends it down behind the net. 2 minutes remaining. York picks it up. Across to Granites in the offensive zone. Granites gets pushed up against the boards. With Pasti down behind there now, picked up by Dello. He's going to go for the empty net to the full length of the ice, and he hits it. With 1:27 to go, Dello puts it in, and that's going to be a 3-0 margin. Notre Dame pours 3 on in the final 8.5 minutes of this game.
If things hold the way they are, the Wolverines, well, standings-wise, as for over the next weekend, the Wolverines will not get a single home game on the entire Big Ten tournament. They'll be away the entire time.
So 1:27 to go. Pasti to do the draw at center ice with O'Leary. And the draw won back by the Wolverines, but they just could not find a way to get it past Morris this weekend. And in some way, this weekend series, as O'Leary takes it away with 1:15 to go, is basically a flip script of the series in South Bend back in early January, as there's an offsides. Michigan outscored Notre Dame 6-1 that weekend, just completely silenced the Irish offense. And this weekend, if this score holds at 3-0, it's going to be 5-1 in favor of Notre Dame. Toothless offense for Michigan, and both teams are going to sweep the opponent in their opponent's building on the season, and the season series will end at 2 apiece. Wraith across to Klerman. Long stretch pass through the middle. Becker goes after it, as does Summers. Summers lays it behind to Keaton Pearson, and Pearson fans on it. Tyson wings it around down behind. Mann comes out to play it over to Summers. Summers to Pearson to Becker, and Becker dumps it on in. Notre Dame will scoop it up, and they're on the verge of shutting out Michigan in today's game. Martin puts it wide of Morris. Picked up and thrown on down. Loose over to Luke Martin. Scooped up in his own zone by Lansdell. Michigan not really pressing at all. 10 seconds remaining. The Irish get to it. Van Wy picks it up in the right circle. Let's see if he can get one last shot on net. Throws it to the net front. Lansdell pushes it aside. Loose a shot in on Morris, and that'll do it. We will head to the end of the game with the final score. Notre Dame 3, Michigan 0, and you can just see Michigan is devastated.
First time in over a decade they haven't scored a goal against the Fighting Irish. They had a chance for the senior night to go home with a win, a chance to sweep the Fighting Irish like they did again. This weekend has not gone the way that the people in Mays would like it to go, but here we are, senior night. So although this is the unfortunate way to end the season here on home ice, we start with a loss against Clarkson at Yost this season. We end with a loss against Notre Dame at Yost this season.
And that does it for our coverage this weekend. Final score, Notre Dame 3, Michigan 0. And with that, for David Kramer, Joshua Tenzer, I'm Alex Drain saying good night and go blue.